Hi, welcome back to the Sequire Spotlight. We are here at the SoFi Stadium, as you can see, home of the Rams. With me, I have been Errez from GREENBOX POS, or previously known as GREENBOX POS, which is now RYVYL Inc. Am I correct in saying that?
You are correct.
NASDAQ ticker RVYL. Welcome, Ben.
What a
Tell us.
beautiful setting.
Isn't it amazing?
It is.
So fun to be here. Have you been to one of our games before?
I've been to a show here before,
To a concert?
but not a game.
Not a game. Okay, well,
I'm
maybe
more of a
next time.
soccer guy.
More of a soccer guy, so you must be enjoying the World Cup. Wonderful. Ben, so the recent name change to RYVYL, what an exciting, powerful name, I'd say. Why did you choose that name and what does it mean for the future?
So it was a process. It was time for the company as it turns a corner and we go into the billions from the hundreds of millions.
Right.
And as we go global, to start thinking globally with an easier name to pronounce across nationalities and accents and cultures. We did some global acquisitions. We increased our business to verticals that spans the globe, and we needed a refresh. So we put a team together that did a fantastic job and created the RYVYL, and we all love it. We're in this by our shareholders in a shareholder meeting, and we got over 97% approval. People like it.
It's yeah, it sounds great. But did you actually give them a few options and like say, well, choose from this, that, and RYVYL, and they all went for RYVYL?
No. So it helped a little that Freddie and I are the largest shareholders in the company and have been so since the beginning of time. And by the way, in the blockchain context, the beginning of time is just a few years ago.
Right.
But together, we are just about at 50% of the outstanding shares ownership. But we still needed an approval of the rest of the shareholders.
Right.
The team proposed a series of names, of logos, of branding ideas, and through a process that lasted about 6 months, we came up with RYVYL and launched that on our shareholder meeting with, again, a resounding approval. Everybody loves it.
Wonderful. Let's talk more about your cutting edge blockchain solutions, right? There's an evolving global market out there that could obviously use your technology. Let's hear more about the technology and how you plan on taking it out in terms of customized payment solutions.
Yeah, so sometimes people tend to mix terms and the nomenclature when they talk about blockchain. Blockchain is an infrastructure and can do many things for many different verticals and people and uses. On one hand, you have a cryptocurrency as a use case for blockchain. On the other end, you have things like stablecoin. It's interesting that a couple of years ago, I wrote a white paper about the proper way to design and build stablecoin, which we use later on as the Bible for our own stablecoin, Coiny. Some of the concepts that were included in that design were, for example, 100% backing in cash for the infrastructure. Second, the necessity of obtaining third-party certified audit in real time so that anyone who's using the system can have an assurance in real time of the safety and security and compliance of that infrastructure. And then third, using the ability of the block to provide a single source of truth for all users. Everybody's using the same ledger, looking at the same technology, the same numbers that cannot be modified. And as such, they are the perfect infrastructure for payments. Now, on top of all of that, it helped quite a bit that our custodial accounts are maintained within the federal system, with the federal bank, with the federal bank account, with FDIC insurance, etc. We do not touch this money. It's only there to certify the ecosystem. There's no opportunity for run on banks. There is no opportunity for denial of service or loss of money. And you have a guaranteed exit at any time for any amount of money. Take all of these advantages and apply them to a stablecoin tokenization system, and you have created the perfect payment platform that there is. And on one hand, I'm sorry to say that the Coiny is the only one that has all of these advantages. On the other hand, of course, it's a point of differentiation and positioning for our platform.
Excellent. Now, I foresee, it's a very fast moving industry, a very lucrative market going forward all the way into 2026. I saw a Mordo Intelligence report mentioning at least $11 trillion worth of market space. But obviously, not all countries, not all spaces are equipped to actually deal with this, to accept it, to make use of all these benefits. How do you try to bridge that gap and, kind of stagger out the deployment, so to speak?
Yeah, this is a fantastic question. And by the way, it took me years before I got to that point where I can ask that particular question. So the perfect deployment for our system is gradual. The hybrid approach to payments has been so far and will always be, in my view, the most appropriate way to handle payments. There are certain things that traditional ecosystems do very well, and there's no need to replace them. But there are certain things that a tokenized payment solution is best for. So things like international remittance, foreign exchange, exit in multiple currencies over multiple geographies, 24/7 availability, the speed of settlement. All of these things are advantages that will allow this type of tokenized solutions to be deployed and be adopted very, very quickly, even if at the end of the day, it is a hybrid approach and some traditional methods are implemented alongside with it. As it stands today, the majority of the business that we do is still traditional. While Coiny gains market share and traction over our business, we see more and more use cases for this new technology. If I draw back to our Q3 earnings, we projected we will do about $4.5 billion in transactions this year. And out of that, 480 million were done on the Forex platform using Coiny, the stablecoin. So it's not a small part of our business, and it's growing very, very quickly.
Yeah, definitely a lucrative space. But, no conversation around blockchain would be worth too much without actually mentioning some recent market volatility in terms of the disruptions out there. Now, disruption is amazing, but it's always a double-edged sword, right? I'm sure I don't have to go into the details of blockchain and crypto and all the drama out there, but how does that impact what you're doing, and how do you want to remain compliant and do things differently so that, while regulation's still being figured out, you're on the right side of the track where that's concerned?
Right. So I think you just mentioned the magic word, regulations. Although we've seen a lot of turmoil in this industry in recent days, months, and weeks, again, I put a big differentiator between what happens in the crypto industry and what happens in the stablecoin tokenized industry. Although they both use the same platform, the same infrastructure, there's a big difference in the implementation and the use case. Um, I think regulations is a necessary tool to increase the adoption and the trust that people put into these vehicles. I was always a great proponent of regulations for the space, and in fact, as I said in the white paper that I composed 2 years ago, I outlined what regulations would need to look like in my neck of the woods, in the stablecoin arena. And the main pieces that make good regulations include the ability to verify that the system is compliant and safe in real time. This is how you move with the times, right? A lot of regulations are back, a look back type of approach. This technology is not good enough when you look back at it. You have to look at it in real time and gauge its health at the time of use.
Excellent. Well, I want to touch now on the financials recently reported. We're seeing tremendous growth there for RYVYL now. Will you please give us the key highlights and especially whatever key takeaways you want our viewers to remember most about that report?
So whenever I talk about financials for RYVYL, and I have to get used to the new name myself, I always try to give a proxy. What is the best tool for people to gauge the health and prospects for the company? From my perspective, the best proxy is volume of business. And then under that, look at the diversification and exposure of the company. So we do business now in South America, in Europe, in Asia, most of it in North America. But it's very, very diverse. And again, if I look at the company progress in terms of volume of processing, where we got from 170 million in year one, which was 2019, for the year, $170 million for the year, all the way to about 500 million a month, as we're doing now in the third quarter. It's a tremendous growth, and I think it's a personal achievement for me and a great achievement for the company to get there by developing technology infrastructure that has no barriers to scalability. It is very, very uncommon that you grow this fast and yet have zero denial of service and $0 lost. Compare that to what we've seen recently, and by the way, still to see in the coming months. I think it's a great vote of confidence, and we're very, very happy about that.
Excellent. Yeah, definitely sounds lucrative, exciting, and almost untouchable, right? Can you pinpoint any challenges, just to keep things a little more transparent, if at all? Of course, there's the technology advancements, these different things, but what do you see being potential challenges over the next 3 quarters, so to say?
So I think destruction may be a challenge. I think we will see some hasty actions on the regulatory side with oversight that maybe initially doesn't make sense. So I hope that process will be done responsibly. I hope that the challenges on the crypto side will not cause the stablecoin side to be regulated out of existence. I also would like to hope and expect other stablecoins to move into the safe territory that has been defined by Coiny, and I would hate to see another stablecoin collapse. I think this will be very, very bad for the industry. Coiny is the safest stablecoin out there, and it's that by design. We built it with 100% cash backup. We built it with real-time auditing and attestation as to safety and security and the stability of the ecosystem. And we have an open, centralized ledger. That single point of truth has to play into the regulator as well. Everybody needs to see the same exact information. I think if that will happen, the sky is the limit for the company and for the industry.
Wonderful. Well, we definitely look forward to hearing more about RYVYL now, the new name RYVYL with the NASDAQ ticker RVYL. I'm still getting my head around this name.
Me too.
Yeah, I bet. Well, thank you so much. It was great having this conversation with you. Any closing remarks before we close off, or at least just a link where they can find more information?
Of course. So first of all, if you want to learn about the company, look at our new website, RYVYL.com. That's RYVYL.com. We have an integrated IR site right within it. You can see all of our brands. Most of them have been updated, and it's really a beautiful website to go and look for information. If you need anything further, we have the IR contacts, and I'm always available. Look for our next shareholder meeting coming up. And I wanted to wish everybody happy holidays, and stay with us and stay with the industry. It's a good place to be.
Wonderful. Thank you. This is the Sequire Spotlight. Stay tuned for more.